Hello and happy Sunday. Welcome to another live stream. I look forward to hanging out with all of you today. I am working on Zatanna. So this one is the prize number 1 from my holiday giveaway. So I need to fix some wires. And I'm going to be painting her with you today. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Devin, hello, welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday. So, there's some prep work that needs to happen before I get into the painting. So, I will be working on that, of course, to start. I have to tape it down. And I just use, it's called Pro Artist Tape. I get it at the art store. So I'm going to be taping it down, and then the next step is going to be preparing it for paint, and this is going to protect some of the areas that I don't want to have the background color on them. So I'll be doing all of that stuff first to prepare everything, and then we'll get into painting. Ed, Jeff, hello, welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday. All right, so I have not been working on this one. Aw, thank you, Carmen. I haven't been working on this one because I have been working on cover art over the weekend. So right now, as of late last night, I think I sent it off for flats at midnight. The cover is off for flats. And so I'm taking a momentary break while I'm waiting for the flats, and I'll be working on painting this one. And then I'll go back to digital colors or go back to the Mojo cover, and next up is digital colors. Yay, yay. Thank you, Jeff. That means so much. Heather, hello. Finn, thank you for stopping in to say hi. Jeremy, welcome to the stream. Keenan, happy Sunday. So 11 by 17s are of course bigger than the camera can get all in one shot. So I'll show you guys the full thing in a minute. So I'm just trying to get the tape relatively straight. It's not an exact science, that's for sure. Bobby, hello. We'll be sending out your book on Monday, Bobby. It's all packed up and ready to go. And I'll be in touch soon with your tracking number. Quentin, hello. Welcome to the stream. Baron, how? Yes, I will send you a scan. Of course, Carmen. So, I'm going to get these sides down, and then I'll start working on the top and bottom of the tape. Steve, Jay Taylor, hello everyone. Juan, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry, I did not see your comment at first there. Juan, the Morgana cover is off for flats right now. So I'll get to coloring her next week. I'll probably, I'm not sure when I'm gonna get the flats back. So I'll probably do my Tuesday live stream. We'll be working on this Zatanna again. At least that's my plan. And then by Thursday's live stream and Sunday's live stream, I'll have the colors figured out a little bit, and then I'll start live streaming the colors of Morgana. What the fan art? Thank you so much for wishing Sherlock a happy birthday. I don't know if we'll get him with a party hat. That would be fun, though. I'll show you guys a quick look at Morgana. I just need to put some Post-its on the boobies. So 1 second. So this one is scanned and now off for flats. So it'll probably, I'll probably have the flats by tomorrow, but I won't go live with this one until I have it figured out a little bit better. You're so sweet, Steve. Okay. Just have to put some tape on. All right, here is Morgana. She is complete. Stacks of coins are really annoying to draw, I'm not gonna lie. Because you don't want to make them just look like tubes, right? So I wanted to make them look like they've, they're not perfectly evenly stacked on one another and stuff. It just took forever. So there's so I did this one in pencil. I finished it up in pencil. I have it at an angle because otherwise it's just really blown out. But this is what she looks like. I have left my center guideline right there. And I'll erase it once I'm done. Well, I can actually erase that now on the original. But I left it for the digital coloring because I mapped out exactly where the bridge of her nose is and where the tip of her nose is, and I wanted to keep that line so that I know for the shading where to put everything. You think I could get jewels on the Divinica cover at Swornfest? Absolutely. I don't see why not. Jo loves all things sparkly, so I don't see her having an issue with it. Aw, Jay Taylor, that's so kind. Thank you. So anyway, here she is. She's off for flats. I feel very sorry for my flatter right now. There are a lot of beads. It's going to be super annoying. Sally Ann, thank you. All right, so Morgana is going to be my project for this coming week. And she will be the coloring project. And I need to do some additional painting on that one, and I need to draw her clothed version. So there's that too. Lino, hello. All right, getting the tape down up here. Hello, David Robinson. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes to Sherlock. Yesterday was all-you-can-eat day for Sherlock. I was not going to have him on a diet yesterday. Sorry. Humans get to have cheat days on their birthdays and at least have some birthday cake. Even if you're on a doctor-imposed diet, you can still have a break on your birthday. So I declared the same for the cat. I haven't seen your attempt yet, Juan. I'm going to go take a look. I'm sure it's amazing. Dark Twilight, hello. Welcome to the stream. And once the Morgana cover is complete, then it will be Divinica time. Again, I'm so excited. I have that Aphrodite page sitting on a shelf literally right in front of me right there, just staring at me and taunting me to finish painting it. Yes, I'm sure he won't understand it too, Steve, unfortunately. I did think about that, but I was like, you know what? Whatever. He still gets a day off. Everyone deserves that. All right, so she is taped down and ready for paint. But before I start painting, I need to protect the doves. So I'm going to be using my liquid Frisket and my brush for said liquid Frisket. So this stuff I've found to just be fantastic for these things. Oh, and I'm going to protect the dove's, her legs, just the exterior lines of her legs. And the tip of this right here. So there's just going to be a few places that I need to put down my Frisket. And I apologize to you guys that I was not able to do this off stream. I have really not been working on this right now. Yesterday was a mad dash to finish the Morgana cover. And I finished it at midnight. So, I'm a little not behind on Zatanna, but I just haven't had a chance to get all this stuff done. So we're gonna hang out and watch me do something that is relatively boring. Seven, hello and welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday. What has everybody been doing this weekend? Anything fun to share? What product is that? This is something, it's called Liquid Frisket. I've tried a few different brands. Personally, I found the Schmincke brand, it's a German company, to be the best one. For starters, it doesn't end up dyeing your paper kind of yellow toned, which a fair few other brands that I've tried end up turning my paper yellow, and I don't like that. This one comes off pretty well and it dries quickly. So it's Schmincke Liquid Frisket. I found it at an art store here in Canada. I think it was about, I can't remember how much it cost actually, probably between $6 and $12. But it lasts forever. It's totally worth it. And the paper that I'm working on right now is Arch's hot pressed watercolor paper. But I have tried this stuff on cold press, which is more textured, and it works just fine. So yeah, this stuff is fantastic. And what I did is I just allocated one of my sort of cheap, shitty brushes to using it for, like, it's exclusively now for Liquid Frisket, and so it works out rather well. You can get it in color to see it better. I just, at least in my store, Allie, they only had it in the clear. But yes, that would be great. I should look into it. So I'm protecting anything that I don't want to be purple or blue. So I'm going to do the background on this one, kind of a smoosh of purple and blues. And her leather, or like her jacket, would probably pick up some of those purples and blues. But I don't want her skin or the doves to be purple and blue. So that's why I'm going around and filling them in. Jeff Burden, hello. Tim Helton, thank you. Happy Sunday, Joyanne. Welcome to the stream. You had Frisket rip your paper? Oh, I'm so sorry. That is really, really unfortunate. This stuff you can, once it dries, what you do is you kind of rub it off with a special kind of rubber eraser style thing. At least that's what I use, and I find it works rather well. So that's what I do. But today is going to be a working on the background day. So we'll be working on getting the whole background tone for her. And I plan to do like a purpley blue color. So I went full blue on the little mini commission that I did. And for this one, I'm going to go more purple in it. And I've kind of seen both for Zatanna. Sometimes it's just plain like electric blue. Sometimes it's more of a baby blue. And And then other times I kind of see a mixture of purple and blue. So I decided to go purpley blue for this. No, this one is not the Stinky Old Socks brand. I stopped using that one and now I'm using another brand, and it has no detectable scent to me anyway. And I'm kind of average as far as like what smells bother me, and I can't smell anything on it, so maybe you won't be able to smell it. I don't know. Okay, now we're gonna move to this dove down here. And I'm going to mask out this part just along the edge of her corset as well, because her corset is white. Well, no, it's kind of like a gold color. And I don't want any blue in there. I'm going to make the inner color of her coat, that's going to be red. So I don't think I'm going to mask it out, or maybe I will. I don't know. I'm still deciding. Her gloves are white, so they have to be masked. And that little spot for her skin and her white shirt. Let's go ahead and do the dove. And then I'm considering what I will do as far as her the inside of her coat right there. So it might be fine if there's blue in there, but I don't know if I want the blue. You ordered a Tombow eraser yesterday. Yay! Which type, Juan? Did you get the thin one, or were you going for the little, the kind of chunkier pink one that I have? What did you decide to get? The thin one? Oh, yay! I hope you love it. It's so awesome in my opinion. It was my everything for working on the Morgana cover, that's for sure. I would not have been able to do that kind of precision cleanup if I didn't have it. Jeff, hello! Welcome to the stream. All right, I decided I'm gonna mask out the edges of the red lining of her jacket. And since this part will be hard to avoid, I'm just going to actually fill it in completely. Fill that in completely. All right, we're almost done. We're nearing the end of all this. I appreciate your guys' patience. I have a brush cleaner soap that's always worked really well for me. So, and then I also have, you know, the Dawn brand dish soap as well. And I just keep both in my, like, brush cleaning sink. Okay. So this is not precise. I'm not being super careful here. I'm just kind of roughly painting over all of it. All right. So last little place I'm going to do, just to be extra safe, is I'm going to line her face. So I'm going to put this masking film over the outside lines of her face, just so that things don't bleed into her face or her eyes or anything like that. Because blue is kind of hard to remove from skin or cover. There we go. I think we're good now. Did I put one line there? No, I didn't. Okay. And a line going down the outside of her thigh. Okay, perfect. All right, I will be right back. This is drying. I'm going to go wash my brush out really quickly. BRB. Okay, my brush is clean, all is good, and yeah, the soap that I have cleans it off really nicely, and I set that one aside. And it's specifically for, I just save it specifically for cleaning my brush, so it works out pretty good. All right, I'm going to catch up with Carmen's. And the same thing about jewel books. I want to get a couple Rothic books. So I'll find out for sure. I don't know if Brian will allow jeweling of non-coffin. Oh, that's so awesome, Carmen. Thank you for asking. Watercolor gouache markers or something else. I use Copic markers. They're alcohol-based. Kylie, hello. All right, I'm gonna turn my hair dryer onto the cool setting and just try to expedite the process on a few things here. Yes, we're keeping it cool today. All right, so as you guys can see here where it's catching the glare, that is the masking film. So I have it in a few locations just to protect the items that are supposed to either be very light or they're going to be skin tone, which I don't really want blue mixing into. So that's protected, and now I'm gonna plan my colors. Yay! I won't, Juan, I promise I won't get upset at you for pictures. All right, so for blue and purple, I'm gonna do just a bit of both, and so I'm actually gonna use 472, some 481 if I feel it needs a little bit of blue, and then a darker purple with 476. So these three colors are what I'm gonna do. No corner time. I don't know what is wrong with my voice today, everyone. I apologize. Before we start, I'm going to do a test. So these are little cutoffs from my papers. What I do is I have, when I buy my Arches paper, it just turned out to be more economical for me, and I could get the size of paper that I need. I work in comics primarily, and the average comic book page that you draw your covers on or interiors or whatever is 11 by 17. That's not a standard art size, like not at all. So it's kind of hard to find watercolor paper, which from all intents and purposes is an art paper. It's pretty much impossible to find paper in 11 by 17 that is cut to size. So what I do is I buy 18 by 24 paper and I cut them into 11 by 17 sheets. And then what's perfect about it is that I always have little extra cutoffs. And so I use these as my testers to see what colors I'm going to be using and kind of plan out my color scheme on my testing pages. So that's what I'm going to do now. Yes, I can check with Joe, Carmen. Yeah, right. You could not be more correct, Steve. Steve, are you coming to Swornfest? Hello, Luke. Welcome to the stream today. All right. So this is my watercolor palette. It is messy, but such is life. So I'm going to start with 472. 472. You still have to decide and make plans. Okay, fair enough. 481. Let's see how 481 looks with this. I might switch to 494. Okay, so that's 481. That's kind of an intense blue for what I'm going for. I might try this one, this blue right here. So I just tried this blue, but I'm going to give this one a shot. So that's 494. 494. Ooh, I don't use this one very often. Yeah, that's a better blue. It's more what I was going for. So let's get a bit more of that purple going on. And I'm going to get that 494 again. Okay, so the 494 is this one. I think it's a little bit more of a softer blue as opposed to this one that I'm not so sure how it meshes with purple. It would be really good with, say, a green or a turquoise is what that blue would look nice with. I'm going to go for a little bit more of a softer blue. And then 476. 476 is this one. And this is where we need some depth and darkness. Yes, I think I like that. Sally, my favorite brand is Schmincke. Let's put a little bit more purple in there. And if I start feeling that the purple is lacking, I can always add a little bit of pink to it so that it, like if it ends up mixing with the blue too much. So I think those are some good colors. And I'm gonna write down those numbers so that I keep them in mind. All right. I chose 472, 472, 494, 94, and then 476. All right. So sorry, that was off cam. I wrote them on a Post-it so I don't forget the numbers. Okay. Now, I need to learn that I can't make the background too dark everywhere. So Zatanna is a magician for all intents and purposes. So she, has magic. In order to have magic or implied magic, you need glow, right? And it's hard to put glow on lighter elements. So like this one, for instance, I made it a little bit darker at the bottom, and that makes it so that the white and the sparkles and everything, you can see it. If you have white glow on white paper, where's the glow? So I'm going to do something kind of like this, but we're going to skew more purples as opposed to blues. Where you live, how many comic book stores closed down? None that I'm aware of. At least the ones that I knew are still here. Yeah. Yay. All right. So the one thing that I'm going to try to do, though, is be a little bit careful to not go too dark. So I'm going to focus a lot of the dark on the exterior, and then we're going to go more lighter tones once it starts getting close to her body, just because otherwise it's a little bit hard for the character to pop. And she has a lot of black in her outfit, and so I really don't want to go too dark here. Oh, that's awesome, Steve. Unfortunately, I have no clues for that one. Max trying her best. Thank you for the follow. You can't wait for new prints. Ah, thank you, Carmen. Okay, so this is our color scheme. We are going to try to go a little bit more light and pastel, at least for the most part, and then add dark strategically and carefully so that the background also doesn't kind of overwhelm the character. I think that's something I need to be careful about. All right, let's get some paper towel. This little caddy, I'm not sponsored by IKEA in any way, shape, or form, but this caddy has just been fabulous as far as having, quickly accessible art supplies right there. It's so great. Side note, watercolors, what are those? What are watercolors? All right, so I don't think I need this anymore, so I can put it away. And put that away. Here we go. It is time. Have my watercolors ready. Oh, the brand. I am using Schmincke watercolors. Let's get a little bit of the light purple, just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. So theoretically, I have protected the doves. I have protected her skin. And I'm not worried about her jacket because that is, her jacket is going to be black, so it's not a problem. If it gets some purple in it, nobody cares. But I don't want the doves to be the wrong color and stuff like that. So I definitely worked to get those protected. And I just have a little light amount of paint on here so I can see where I'm placing my water. And for now, that's all I need. We need more sketch. Thank you, Carmen. What needs to happen is I need to get my sketches turned into prints. So all of these ones are definitely slotted to be print of the month. So at least there's that. Oh, yay, it's the grizzly. Well, I can't take credit for it. I saw that on Pinterest and was like, ooh, yes, I will be swiping that idea. Okay, so we are still wetting the paper because then it's going to, I'm going to need to work pretty quickly to get all the colors to mix nicely and smoothly together. So that is going to be the haul ass and get that done situation. And I want it to just look all magic-y and kind of one color flowing into the next one. So let's just get all this wet. Oh, hello, Cassandra. Thank you. I hope you're having a fantastic evening as well. All right, I think the paper is wet. Woohoo! All right, purples. Let's get some purple going on. A little bit more. And what's nice is because the paper is so wet, it's going to, the watercolor is going to kind of just travel around all on its own and do its own thing. And that's really what I want here. Be careful right there. I don't really want it to get into her shirt. Carefully back here too. Print the line out. This is directly drawn and inked onto the paper. I used Copic multi-liners and then Copic markers to like fill in all the black areas. Okay, so that's pass number 1. And we're going to keep working on it and add more color in now. Fixed for Life. Hello, welcome to the stream. All right, I need to get my pink color. That is in here somewhere. Okay, so this is one of the non-Schmincke brands that I use. It's this one is a Holbein, and it's the rose color. So I'm just getting some of that. And just gonna check Zatanna's coloring again. So what I did is I got a Zatanna piece from, it's like one of the Zatanna statues by DC Comics. And, you know, they have some like digitally done little background colors. And so she has kind of blues and purples in some of her like promotional images and stuff, and so that's kind of where I'm taking the inspiration of purple. Like in this one, the Museum Masterline Deluxe Edition, her name is written out in kind of a purpley pink color, and so that's kind of where I'm taking the blues, purples, inspiration from, because then it kind of seems more like it's her signature color. Kind of like Scarlet Witch is red and her power is kind of pinky red. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Jeremy, thank you. I'm glad you were able to join in today. So this rose pink is really intense, so I'm going to just be kind of careful with it, and I'm mostly using it to kind of warm up some of the purples. And I'm trying to kind of haul ass a little bit and go quickly so that it all kind of mixes together. So watercolor at this stage is kind of hideous, not gonna lie. I think it's really gross. But it should eventually start to dry out into some nice colors once I get the saturation correct. And I like when it kind of looks like those watercolor poofy clouds, or where they kind of, it spreads out like in a floral pattern. I really like when watercolor does that. So I'm trying to get the paper really wet and work with watercolor. This is the one time I don't fight watercolor. That's so awesome, Jeremy. Do I work with art now, or is it a hobby? Favor Cow, I am a comic book artist, so I work in art professionally. Yes, my parents did support me. I am fortunate as far as that goes. Yes, I have a spray bottle as well. This is drawn. With my trademark eyeliner. Interesting. I didn't know that. So the paper is starting to dry, which is unfortunate. I don't use electric erasers, honestly. I've never really I don't know. I'm a bit of a control freak, and I feel like electric erasers are not as easily controllable. In school, was I artist girl? I was homeschooled, so it was kind of, yeah, I suppose, but not as big a deal. Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you, Sketch Paint. Much appreciated. I'm going to lighten that up just a little bit. These things will lighten as it dries, but still I wanted to lighten that up a smidge. Okay, I'll catch up in just a second. All right, what kind of paper do you use? I use Arch's hot pressed watercolor paper. You're planning to mix fine liners and watercolor. Any advice? I do the same. I use, I ink these, and then I do watercolor. So yeah, it works out really nicely. Just do some test runs. you know, on a little cut-off piece of paper or something like that, mostly to make sure that whatever fine liners and markers you decide to use are not going to bleed when they get wet. So I found, at least for my paper and paint mixture, you know, and the brands that I use, Copic marker works out pretty good. So I use Copic marker and Copic branded lining pens, and then Arch's hot pressed watercolor paper. So that seems to work for me. And then it really depends for you what it is you're trying to accomplish and what kind of paper you want to use. All right. And I think now on the perimeter, I'm going to go darker. So what was the color? 476? 476. All right, we're just going to go darker, and this is a little bit more blue, just for some places in the background. Yes, just practice, practice. That's right. Unfortunately, I wish I had some, you know, magic potion for you as far as that goes, but really it's just a lot of practice, frustration, erasing, redoing, all those fun, very frustrating things. I'm sorry. Kind of sucks. I want the doves to be kind of glowy, so I may take a paper towel and just dry up around the doves at the end. We'll see. Just kind of pick up some of that paint. Oof, this looks so bad right now. Telling you, the work in progress of watercolor kind of freaks me out a little bit. Yes, tear fuse, that is very much a frustrating point of working with watercolor. I'd say that sketching on watercolor paper is just a recipe for frustration and ruined paper. So what I usually do is I have my sketch, I'll either do it on a separate piece of paper and then pull it into the computer to make it the size that I need, print it out, and transfer to board, so that I do all the figuring and planning on another piece of paper. And that preserves this paper better. All right, I think I'm going to leave this side lighter. I had the paint in my brush ready to go, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna resist the temptation. Shit. That little spot right there is not protected. Tom, hello. Okay, now I'm just filling in a few little missed spots. I want it to be lighter here. This part needs to be lighter. And then the rest is darker. Now this is gonna dry paler than it looks right now. So I may find that I wanna add more color, but it's so much easier to add color than to try to lighten up what you've already done. So I'm gonna stop now. I'm just gonna maybe do some little blends here and there. This part needs to go a little bit darker. I'm gonna clean up some of these edges while I still can. That part's not drying smoothly, so I'm cleaning that up. Okay. Just posted an updated wall of dawn. Aw, thank you so much, Tom. I look forward to seeing it. All right, so I'm letting this dry just a little bit before I start hitting it with the blow dryer because I've got these puddles, and those puddles are not going to look very nice, and they're going to get blown all around by my blow dryer. But actually, I think I'm going to try pulling them out a little bit more. Just take these puddles and give them a job. Okay, let's see if the blow dryer can handle it. All right, guys, cover your ears if the noise is gonna bother you. I'm gonna be using the blow dryer for a few minutes. So let's see how this looks once it dries. I may need to do another pass of paint on it, but we won't know until we try. Okay, now that the paper is damp, I'm pressing down in places to flatten the paper out again. That does make me feel better, D-Dog. I know! The pores! Pushing to get the paper smooth again. All right, Jack Stano is asking, also, is it easier to draw heroes or non-heroic characters to start off? That is really a personal preference thing, I would say. You know, usually it's easier to stick to and study what you enjoy. So it really just depends on what you prefer to do. Oh, wow, Van Helsing. Yay, I'm so glad you were able to pick him up. And what do you think? All right, I feel that this is a little bit too light and pastel for Zatanna. But it's easier, again, to add more paint than to take it out. So I'm happy that at least, you know, it's a good problem to have, to need to add more paint. I currently use Copic multi-liners. I have the SP pens, which are just the ones that you can replace the nib and replace the cartridge, the ink cartridge. And then I also have just their regular multi-liners, and I use various colors. So like here I use their gray ones, here I use their brown ones. So I use a variety from the Copic marker line, and they don't bleed. I also have tried the Tombow calligraphy brush pens, and those work really well too. They don't seem to bleed either. For me, I have found that Micron pens, even though they're really nice to line with, they bleed with Copic markers. I haven't tested them with watercolor, but I would imagine it's the same thing. And since I use both Copic and watercolor in my work, Microns are a no for me. But that's just because of what I use them with. It's amazing. You'll post it in Boob Squad later. Yay! Thank you so much for supporting the Art of Divinica Kickstarter. I'm so glad you finally got your stuff. Okay, so I want it to stay pretty light around her. I'm not trying to make her be dark, especially because she has dark clothes, so I want light tones around her, but I just want darkness in the perimeter, because then that will really make it look like she's in a glow, you know? So I'm gonna have to re-wet the whole page so that I don't end up with any like water lines. I hate those. And then darken up the exterior. I'm not saying for sure that they will. It all depends also on the paper and everything like that. I personally have had experience with microns bleeding, so that's why I'm just not gonna bother trying again. Here, Sapreza is saying that doesn't happen to them, so, you know, I'm not saying that that is a hard and fast rule. It's just my experience. Oh, thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it. So here we go. Just re-wetting everything. It's going to pull the color around a little bit, but that's honestly not the end of the world. Round 2. Maybe I won't get it as wet as I did last time. We'll see. See if I can get away with it a little bit less wet. Okay, so now I can see where I've missed the edge, because it makes this weird pattern. Sometimes it's great, and I really don't mind those kind of odd patterns and stuff. It just time and place. I don't know that I want them everywhere though, so I'm going to be careful. Okay. Thank you, Painted Dreams. That is so very true. I am not trying to tell you guys hard and fast rules here. All right. So here we go. I'm using the darker purpley blue again, and I'm just getting that in the edges. I don't want it to be a dark painting everywhere. I just want a little bit more dark colors along the edge so that it can kind of blend in. And really, she's kind of like a magician, so, you know, they're usually under a spotlight in front of dark curtains. So that's kind of what we're going for here. And I have to work quickly, otherwise the watercolor is going to dry, and then I'm going to have some ugly situations, and I don't want ugly water lines. now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my purpley tone and I'm going to mix it in as the piece comes a little bit more towards the center here, and just saturate it up a little bit more with my purple. Ah, wrong color. Go. There we go. That's the color I was going for. And I'm going to use that color, I think, more on this side. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Okay, and then right here, I'm gonna just do a quick little dab and pick up some of the paint here because I want it to be glowing around her wand. So I'm just gonna pick a little bit of that up just ever so gently. We're gonna try picking some paint up in a few little places. Let's blend that a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to pull the watercolor out, like so. Just paint in here a little bit more. So sometimes I'm really thrown off by like a color, you know, it'll be it'll dry really pale and that's surprising, or sometimes it's going to dry the same color that it looks when it's wet. And so that happened to me with the Punchline one, where it was a bit surprising for me because I was compensating for the fact that usually watercolor dries paler, but those colors didn't. And so it was a lot darker than I was expecting. So this one, of course, now I'm kind of swinging the pendulum all the way over to overcautious. And we'll see how this goes this time and if this is dark enough. Okay, don't like some of these edges. So what I did with the Punchline is I went back in and lightened it. And put some lighter colors behind Punchline herself, which worked out fine. And my goodness, I love the background tone of that painting, but I had to compensate the opposite way. So I'm kind of one extreme to the other in my commissions this time. I have a color chart. All right. Here we go. Looking at it, I'm wondering if no, I'm not gonna go darker here. I think this is enough. Yes, you will be yelling. Here we go. I did not, no. I guess that just happens sometimes. All right, I'm almost done here. Yes, I will be painting the wand. I just haven't gotten there yet. All right, so there we go. It's still, I'd say I'm happy with the tones so far. If I feel that I need to add more later, I might do that at the end of the piece because I still need to see what it's going to look like once she's colored. So that's why I'm going to leave it at this for now, and then we'll revisit the background. I use Tombow erasers. Okay, so here is this is the little remover for the Frisket, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So here we go. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, and then I filled in the tip of the wand because that is white, so I don't want the background colors on it. And you know, some of the doves have a little bit of paint here and there on them, like it looks like I missed a couple spots, but I don't super care about that because if I need to, I can just add some white paint, give them some highlights, stuff like that. So it's not a big deal. For me personally, if some paint gets on these things, oh, that's awesome, Van Helsing. Just checking to make sure I caught all the masking film on those. Now we're going to go over here. And I'm probably going to make the doves kind of sparkly so that they are also kind of emanating a little bit of magic and glow. All right, I think I've got all of it. Perfect. So this is all the little shavings from my liquid Frisket. So this is all the stuff that this eraser kind of pulls off. So there we go. Throw all this away. It protected good enough. I certainly didn't do a clean job of it, but I don't care. I wasn't trying to. So, yay. Now, I'm thinking I might want to get started with her skin. So, there's not actually that much skin showing. So, I'm going to, start painting her. And then we'll work on, doing all the other tones. Now that I'm kind of seeing the color scheme of this place, I might change my mind about putting red back here. I might do something else, but I'm thinking about it. So we have time. I don't need to have that decision made for a minute. So one of my little paint buckets is very dark now, but I do have one more here that I'll use for the skin. Oh, shoot. And I just made it purple. That's probably good enough. All right. All right, skin tones. So I am I do like a base color with watercolor for my skin tones, and pretty much anything that I'm doing commission-wise. So I will do a base color on the skin with watercolor, but then what I use to add the shadows and stuff like that is I will switch to Copic marker or any alcohol-based marker. I just happen to have Copic. So it just makes it so that the watercolor doesn't, I don't know, watercolor is a little hard to control. It kind of pools where it wants and goes as it wishes, and that drives me crazy when it comes to painting skin. I prefer that it looks smooth. Personal preference. You do you, as far as, if you like that look or not. I just personally don't. So I know that there are ways that you can, of course, make watercolor go smoothly and stuff, but I just switched to Copic. So this is my little skin tone palette, and I'm just gonna grab some of the colors and get Zatanna with a base skin color right here. Go. So Her top is white, so I'm going to try to be pretty careful as far as not getting any more paint on her top than I already have. A little bit more pink than I wanted to, so I'm mixing a bit more brown in. Go. A little bit of water to just kind of blend that out. And this is just base color. I'm not trying to put any highlight and shadow planning. This is just to fill the paper with a little bit of tone. Because of course it goes much faster with watercolor than it does to try to do the filling with Copic marker. Clean all that off. And if I'm gonna have the watercolor like pool anywhere, I'll push it to where the shadows are gonna be. So at least then I don't end up with something that's, you know, darker than I need. There we go. Round one of skin tone is finished. That's the nice thing about watercolor, is that it will fill an area very quickly. Okay, there's a little bit more skin over here, and I believe even that her legs, she has fishnets, but I think that the actual leg part under the fishnets is skin tone. It is. So we'll fill that as well. I think I need a little bit more pink. A little bit more. Can you use a dry brush to absorb? Yes, you can. Thanks, John. Good evening, Water Rat. Welcome to this stream today. All right. Yay, round one of skin done. Joker Nato, hello. Teresa Knight, welcome to the stream. Okay. So for me, I'm kind of planning that there's going to be, of course, more of a light source where the wand is, because that's where her magic and power is coming from. So the shadows are going to be more on this side of her face. So I'm going to quickly blow dry it so I can get going with Copic. Copic markers. And in this case, I will be using the regular skin tones that I have. All right, she has blue eyes, red lips. We can do this. And I use a pink watercolor-based colored pencil for blush, and I blend it with the Copic marker, believe it or not. So, YR30, E41, E42, and if I need it, E43. All right, so these are the colors that I'm going to use. And with Copic marker, it is advisable, or at least I recommend, that you try to work in as small spaces as you can because it dries very, very, very quickly, and it's much easier to blend Copic marker when it's still wet. So we're talking about you have seconds to get done what you need to get done. Now, granted, watercolor paper seems to be far more forgiving for Copic marker than like marker paper is, for instance. So it definitely helps to be using watercolor paper even with the Copic markers. Hello. Okay, E41. Hello, Siamak. Welcome to the stream today. Okay, and I'm blending it out with the YR40s. I'm just taking it and blending out the E41. Okay, and since I'm working with all the light tones right now, I'm going to go ahead and add in this colored pencil. And this colored pencil is a water-soluble colored pencil. So they're either called aquarelle or watercolor colored pencils. And this is a trick I learned from an artist named Paolo Pantalena. And it works out really nicely because you can kind of add in some like blush or rosy tones and then blend it with a Copic marker. Because sometimes the Copic marker, if you try to add blush with an actual Copic marker, I've found sometimes it doesn't mix very well with the rest of the markers you're using on the face, and you can get kind of some odd blotchy looks, and it's a little harder to control. So I found this way works really, really nicely. So props to Paolo for teaching me that one. No, Tear Fuse, I just use a couple markers together, and that's how I get blends personally. And I'll take the lighter marker and then just blend out the edges. And then put the darker color down again. I mean, this is a light color, but it's still darker than the other one. And then blend out the edges with the lighter tone. Artist Ape, thank you. Oh, is Juan in the corner? No, not right now, Siamak. So I'm using E42 now. It is a darker tone, slightly, and I'm just going to keep blending and working at it to get the colors just right and to give her face the proper, you know, shading and depth. So I used E42, and now I'm using E41, which is just the next shade lighter, to blend out the edges. I'm not sure. I think so, Van Helsing, but I am so bad with names. All right, so this is E42. Now I'm taking E41 and blending out the edges. And then as the E41 is getting a little bit too dark for where her skin is getting even lighter, I'm taking the YR40s and blending that. Okay, and we'll do it again over on this side. And here there's going to be a pretty strong shadow cast from her hair. So, you know, kind of like that. And it'll be right up against a highlight tone. Well, I can read it. But thank you, John. Okay, E41 to blend. And then YR40s to blend that out into the highlights that I already have there. Thank you, Ed. Much appreciated. Okay, so there needs to be a shadow cast by her nose. Little bit more shadow on the base of her chin so that it actually looks like it rounds under. And then I'm going to blend that E41 out with YR40s to make sure there's no harsh edges. All right, and now we're gonna start working on her lips very soon. Just want to make sure I'm getting enough highlight going on the tip of her nose. I might need to bring out some more highlight, and I can always do that with, you know, a little bit of colored pencil or something. So much love to you, Justin. Thank you for hanging out for a bit. Have a happy week. Hello, Dragomir. Welcome to the stream today. All right, I'm gonna check something on my hex chart. Yeah, I'm gonna try maybe E31 and E53 as just some additional tones for her skin. E31, where's E53? Weird. So this is gonna be a little bit more of a saturated brown, but I'm trying to just bring in some eyeshadow for her. Maybe a little bit here on her nose too. So I'm kind of a firm believer in mixed media. Use whatever is going to help your piece look as good as it possibly can be. So I don't strictly stick to one medium. I like all the mediums. All right, I'm using E70 right now. It's a little bit more of a gray toned marker, but I have a feeling it's going to work out rather nicely, not only for her lashes, but also for this shadow area. Because I want her hair to be casting a pretty decent shadow from the light coming off of her wand, which right now we're having to imagine the wand creating some glow, but all of these things that shadows cast by it, all of that is going to really help carry on that illusion. Yeah, I prefer light lip tone as well. That is definitely my preference, but Zatanna as a character has red lips, so I'm trying to stick to what the character has. I'm using E41 right now. I just need a little bit more shadow tones. Okay, and I'm going to blend that out with YR40s. I just felt that her face was looking a little too flat on that side. We're just trying to bring in a little bit more highlight and a little bit more shadow to kind of make her highlights pop. Guys, hello! Welcome to the stream. Oh, and thank you for the raid. How was your live stream, Dies? Okay, I've just got to look down and blend this really quickly, or I'm gonna have a weird line, and I don't want that. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my cool gray markers. So these are gray with like a blue undertone, and I am going to quickly add some shadow into her eyeballs. And I like to make the actual shadows cast by the lashes and the shadows on the eyes pretty dark. And the reason why I do that is because then when you put little like pops for highlights and stuff, it makes the eyes look really glossy and kind of more alive. I'm taking cool gray number 3 and cool gray number 1 right now, and just making the whites of her eyes kind of a bluish gray tone. And then from there, you take some like a white paint or a Sakura jelly roll in white, and you give the few little dots for highlights once you put the color in the eye as well. And the eyes just kind of sparkle a little bit more I think. I've been trying it lately and it's been working and I like that look, so that's what I'm going for. Finally able to stream again. Oh no, I'm sorry, Dies. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's good. Mark, hello. Welcome to the stream. All right, so Zatanna has blue eyes, from what I can tell. So I'm going to get her eyes blue. They're a pretty dark blue from what I can tell. I'm going to keep the cool gray markers out though, because I will probably do that for her white top. But we're going to at least get her face done for today. Okay, blue. Yes. Here we go. Blue. I think I'm going to go for B41 and then go up into the B45s here for her eye color. So let's start with B41. If I can locate it. Here we go. Just putting words in my mouth, huh, Kara? And B45 is like a smoky blue. And if you go over Copic markers a few times in the same spot, it'll slowly layer upon layer darken the color. And so I've got a bit more of a shadow going on right at the top of her eyes. And then I've left it with just the lighter blue at the bottom. So hopefully it's going to help, you know, guide the direction of where she's looking and give that illusion that there's some light reaching her eyes from under her lashes. And I think it dried a little lighter than I wanted up at the top of her eyes, so I'm going to go to cool gray number 4. What is the most challenging part for you to draw? Hands, feet, faces, hair? Nipples. I have the hardest time getting them in the right place. Weirdly enough, that is probably one of the hardest things for me. And then eyeballs, getting the eyes to look in the same direction, you know? It's always my goal to like have a character looking right at and connecting with the viewer or the person picking up said comic book that I happen to work on. And since I'm a cover artist, it's kind of important that the cover that I draw grabs the possible customer. You know, that's what retailers and comic book publishers count on me to do, and I struggle with it for sure. Well, I think that this question was specifically, they said hands, faces. I think it was based on character, what is hard for me to do as far as characters go. If we're talking about art in general, I can give you an encyclopedia of things I find difficult to draw. All right. So, she has black. She has black hair, really. I will be filling in her eyebrows. I just don't like to do eyebrows, even though the eyebrows are black. I won't fill them in completely with black. I'll intentionally leave breaks like that just to fill it with something slightly lighter. Otherwise, it can look very heavy over the face, for me anyway. So I've found that to be a good kind of hack to black-haired characters with black eyebrows, or any haired character, but just black eyebrows, especially on female eyebrows. I will leave breaks in them and fill that in with, you know, a dark brown or something like that. It just kind of softens the face. And let's get, I'm not going to do an actual saturated brown. I'm going to do a warm, can I do warm gray? Yeah, I think I'm going to do warm gray number 7 just to start. Yes, my commission list is filled, Bill. So this is warm gray number 7. But since it's so close to her face, I'm trying to be really careful, just in case I have overfilled this marker. So it looks like her eyebrows are black, but they're not, and it really helps to just not make it like too harsh a line there. Steve and Devin, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but it sounds funny. Okay, so those are done. All right, she needs makeup. She needs a little bit more, I don't know, face tones. We'll see. But for starters, we might as well get her lips colored. So I'm going to get my trusty lip tones. R46, where's, is this R46? No. Okay, R46, and then, oh God, where's Garnet? Garnet, all right. Lip colors. I use R24, R46, R39 for the most part. Then I have one darker red, number R89, that I'll use when needed. But it can come off very, very dark, especially on a face, so I'm a little careful with that. But we are going to plan out her lip color, her lip placement. So I don't like inking lips. For me, the black line around the lips, a full complete line, I don't like it. I feel it's too hard on a female character. So I kind of barely put any information there, and I'm just going to go ahead and plan that out now with a pencil. Oh, you scared me, Philip. I thought you said 3 minutes to dinner. Yes, I was always an artist, John, but I wasn't a very good one, you know? I honestly, I am a work in progress. Hopefully with more progress than not. I really am gonna work on a bunch of stuff this year. Specifically, I am going to be working on drawing male comic book style characters in interiors. So my next few interior pages have some really crazy beasts and more men than not. gonna be drawing some muscly dudes. Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. You know, it's time. It's you know, far overdue that I start drawing a lot more male characters. So, it's happening. And I'm pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. All right. Do I wish to maybe fill that spot in? I don't know. I'm going to leave it for now. All right, so now that's really just my underpaint color. And now I'm going to start filling in with the actual red that I use for lip tone. Good, good. Thank you, Michael. Much appreciated. All right, I'm going to take R24 and do a little bit of blending. Just been trying to decide if I feel the blending is needed, and we're going to fill this in a little bit more. Kind of like that. Teresa, thank you, love. All right, now I am using R39. It's called Garnet, to just add shadow in a few places. I don't actually feel that much in the way of shadow is needed for this lip color. I'm not trying to make her lips super dark or anything, and they're not, you know, they're not very big on the page, so I don't really even have that much real estate to work with. So just a tiny little touch right there, and we are good. So the red colors that I use, again, for the most part, this is not, you know, a hard and fast rule, but my main red colors are these. So it's R24, R46, R39, at least in the Copic marker range. And if you're going to be using any kind of alcohol-based marker, it doesn't matter what brand it is, I find that it's best to have 3 colors, highlight, midtone, shadow, for any blending and soft tones that you're going to try to achieve with an alcohol-based marker. Okay, so I'm putting away the reds. I don't think I need them again unless I plan to make the inside of her coat red, and I am undecided. Okay. So I want to smooth out her skin a little bit on her face and really get the final refining done. And so for that, I'm going to switch to colored pencil to do some face smoothing and add a little bit more makeup to her face. I'm just grabbing all of my sort of skin tone colors. Go. Sometimes Copic marker can look a little blotchy in my opinion, and I do not like it. I'm going to give her a little bit more blush. I was a little bit too delicate with the blush, I think. Time to take it up a notch. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm using wax-based colored pencils now. These are the Caran d'Ache Luminance ones. So all the colored pencils that I have are Caran d'Ache brand. So they're not the cheapest colored pencils, but I just really find them to be amazing to work with, and a lot of my choices as far as like which brands I'm using and stuff is just also what brands my my local art store carries. So, you know, there's a lot of that goes into my decision making because if I'm out one color, they have all my watercolors and everything. I can buy them in the individual pencil, the individual pan. So it makes my life much easier, especially if I'm like in the middle of a deadline working on something and I can't afford to wait 2 weeks for me to order it online, you know. Yes. Amazing to work with, locally available. Precisely. Thank you, Rob. Not the individual pans. No, they don't. Amazon doesn't have the individual colors that I use or the individual pencils. Not so much. And also, yes, the Canadian Amazon is not the same as the US Amazon. Art by Galen, hello, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you said you've been here for a while. Well, thank you for hanging out. Any more cons on the horizon? Well, I'll be going to Sworn Fest, and then I actually updated my convention list. So if you hit exclam cons, you'll see the list and dates as far as which ones I'm going to as of now. Yes, I'm much happier with that. Thank you, Devin. Oh, no, of course. And also, I haven't been traveling to cons very much, so, you know, it's been a while since my cons list has been updated, but I updated it. And, you know, these are all very, very hopeful You know, I'll have to see how everything is going, but you know, I suppose that's how it is. We'll plan and then adjust as needed. Good night, What the Fan Art. Have a good one. Oh, hello, Aaron Heath. Welcome to this stream. Thanks for stopping in to say hello. I think I need a little bit more purple tones there. So I'm actually going to grab purple itself and mix that in here so that it's got a little bit more of a cool tone. And I might even like do some rim lights in purple and stuff, but I'm not going to make those decisions yet. You're going to try to make it to Toronto this year? Yay, Devin! I can't wait. All right, eyeshadow time. This is the fun part. I love doing the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna give her kind of like a maroon tone, I think. So I'm just trying to see if I have one in, if I have a maroon in my water based colored pencils. I don't seem to, but I know I have a maroon here. Or perhaps I want to do more of a blue tone. I would almost go to Toronto to see how organized Devin is in real life. I know, right? Will we not be going raiding? That is a very good question, Philip. To raid or not to raid? How's everyone feeling? Is everybody feeling like they're gonna head out? Or shall we raid? Because we have enough time today. I could totally get a raid going. You can't raid, you forgot your sword. Oh no, Mark. So I'm getting a little bit of maroon in here, and then we're gonna blend it out. I'm still really thinking about gray. And usually I hate gray eyeshadow. Hate, 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 hate. But it might work really well here with her blue eyes and just kind of complement the whole situation. I know, I'm such a failure as a raider. I suck. Your rating privileges have been taken? What happened, Keeman? Oh my goodness, the balloon art channel. Kara, can you put the channel's name here? I'll make sure to follow them so that we can raid them at least some point. You didn't get not raids. Oh, you didn't get any raids last week. Oh, so shall we raid you, Keeman? Are you on right now? Okay, now I'm gonna blend out that into her kind of skin tone. So, of course, I am coloring over my lines here. So I will be going back into her, to the inks, basically. And I do that at the end, where I'll go over and sort of re-ink a few places. Think of it as adding mascara at the end of putting on makeup. Girls will understand. I'll be on Tuesday. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to my channel and see who all is on and who we can raid, since we'll need to get that going pretty much right now so that I'm not late for dinner. Guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with me on this live stream. I will be back on Tuesday to work on the finishing coloring this one, or at least working on it a bit more. And then on Thursday, my plan is to be working on a cover. And I so appreciate you all hanging out with me here. It's been fun. I will get a raid going. Let's see who is on. Let's see, Mike May. Or Rika Draws. Thank you all so much. It is massively appreciated. Okay, Mike May. Our time in games. Ballpoint pen drawing on a tea stain. That is so cool. Fixed for life. Thank you. Good night, Juan. So much love to you. Good night, Ed. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, okay, let's raid Mike May. Raid Mike May art. All right, yes, it worked. I'm always so nervous when I get started, get a raid going. I'm just like, did I type the name in wrong? What did I do? All right. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for hanging out with me on this live stream. You are the best. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you. I will see you next time for more Zatanna work. I am live Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. So I'll see you on Tuesday. Much love to you. Have a happy evening. Have a fantastic Monday, and I'll catch you next time. Much love. Let's go raid.